What we're doing is we're focusing on manufacturing and product development. So what I try to do is have the kids learn a lot about how to make things. We have some of the state-of-the-art equipment, laser cutters, 3D printers, CNC equipment. We have SolidWorks, which is state-of-the-art CAD software for designing. And we get to use all those tools to bring out the kids' creativeness. And so we're trying to get the kids prepared to either go into engineering or into manufacturing, get them career and college ready.
It's a really fun class, and I've learned a lot. Like, I never imagined myself being in this kind of work, and when I got into it, at first I was a little hesitant, but when I started taking it, I learned a lot of things about measuring, which is something I never really knew how to do, and that's a really good life skill to know. I think everyone should know how to measure.
Well, I've really wanted to be an engineer all my life, and so I like to take things apart and build it, and I know a big part of this curriculum is building things, and so I thought this would be a good base for learning how to engineer and starting with the machine level and moving on towards more advanced things as well.
So we teach them the basics, how to use a ruler, which moves into how to use a dial caliper, which moves into how to use a digital readout, all the basics of how do you communicate in industry with industrial tools, drawings, machines, prints, papers, all the technical communication that they probably don't see a lot in any other classes.
Right now, we're mostly working on the computer. We're also working with the CNC lathe, which is right behind me. It's very intricate. You have to learn a lot of different things in order to understand how everything works, but once you get it working, you can make really intricate pieces that would be nearly impossible to replicate by hand. Chess pieces were sort of what we're starting to learn. Once you learn the chess pieces, those are sort of the basics, learning the different diameters and radiuses of the pieces that we want, and then we'll sort of move on to more complex things from there.
Right now I'm currently making a hammer, and that uses the lathes, and it's kind of interesting to learn all of the things that goes into making one simple tool.
Well, right now we're working on a milling of ice, and this is how it looks like. Well, I've been working on this for like the past 2 months with my friend, my classmate Luis. We get a drawing, and from there we get to design, to build.
Women engineers make a lot of money, and they get jobs really fast, and it'd be great to have more of them, because I guarantee any girl that gets an engineering degree is going to make $100,000 a year, almost right out of college.
I think it's a really good learning experience because I know a lot of girls aren't really interested in machines, and I wasn't sure if I would be too, but just because it's an environment full of a bunch of other boys, it doesn't mean that it would be any less fun.
We would really like to have more industry support. We are building that right now. We're trying to do a partnership with industry right now where we're going to develop a game for the local wineries to try to get the winery support into the program. Making wine is actually manufacturing, and it's a huge asset in the Napa Valley, obviously, and we want to bring them in and welcome them into our program.
This class is also very interesting because it brings together many different backgrounds of people who maybe struggle in other classes or who are very good in other classes. They come together and they are able to work hands-on together and sort of bring parts together. Maybe if one person is struggling with a certain aspect of a project, or another person is struggling with a different aspect, they can combine their efforts, and no matter what, they can try their best and produce a product that they couldn't do on their own.
In this program, we try to make sure that everybody's welcome and that it's a very safe environment so that the kids can learn and experiment and hopefully be more ready for the workforce. But it's a great pathway into the world of manufacturing where there's a lot of money to be made, a lot of money to be made.